Welcome to Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas, the official community podcast for the town of Fairview, hosted by the Fairview Economic Development Corporation. On every episode, we spend time getting to know our neighbors and hearing the stories that make our town a community. This is Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. Howdy friends, and welcome to another episode. This is your host, Super Dave Quinn, and I'm sitting down in Fairview, Texas today with a very special guest, the fabulous Jill Hawkins of Hawkins Landscape and Lawn Maintenance, a resident here of Fairview. But this is an extra special show, Jill. You are also on the board of directors for the Economic Development Corporation, which is something I work for. So I am super glad to have you here today, and excited to have this conversation because we have interacted as business colleagues, but this is a more personal get to know you, sort of what is the real Jill Hawkins like? And what is life like in Fairview, Texas for Jill Hawkins? So, Jill, welcome to the show. We're so glad that you're here on Getting Neighborly today. Tell the folks a little about Jill Hawkins and Hawkins Landscape and Development. What is your business, and how long have you been here in Fairview?
Okay. Well, thank you, Dave, for having me. It's an honor to be here with you and doing this podcast. It's a new twist for me, for sure. So my husband started our company like 35 years ago, and I started working with him about 29 years ago, and went full time in helping with business development really on that side. 24 years ago, something like that. So.
Jill, stop just a second. I have to ask you.
Yes.
Going to work and working with your husband, I hear this a lot, like, how do you do that? Because I know people that were like, I can never work in the same room with my husband or my spouse, much less in the same business. Was that a growing opportunity for you all to figure that out?
Marriage is a growing opportunity. So there are days it was hard. There's no joke. He would say the same thing. We have the right kind of personalities to do that, to work together. He is very good at what he does outside and turning, someone's property into absolute beauty. And I am good on the admin side and connecting with people, via phone. And then I'm out in the field quite a bit as well. But, really, grace of God helping us get through some of the challenges of working together as a married couple.
But really bringing each other, y'all kind of really complement each other. God has sort of a sense of humor where he's just like, I'm going to put two people who are sort of different, but they really work well together if they figure it out. And it sounds like y'all have been able to do that over the years.
We've been married for 32 years. So
well, congratulations.
It's working out, all of it.
All right, so you've moved into the business. Now pick up the story there.
Yes, I came into the business really just trying to help him grow as I transitioned from a previous career, and that was in the chiropractic world, and where with chiropractic offices I did business development with them as well. So it really kind of led just right into business development of a landscape company. Very two different types of professions, but business is business, and the way I've always operated is by growing relationship-based growth in our business. So that's real important to me. Golden rule is our motto for our company: do unto others as you would do unto yourself. And it's really that simple. To me, that is that simple.
So now you live here in Fairview. How long have you lived here in Fairview? You're I don't want to say old timer because that's a negative connotation when you're speaking to a lady, I think.
Yeah.
You're a seasoned Fairview Economic Development. A Fairview resident. Let's put it that way. Seasoned.
So this year will be 19 years that we decided to move here.
Okay.
Yes.
So you know a thing or two, and have seen a thing or two about Fairview and the change from then till now.
Indeed. Yeah. We, as a matter of fact, my husband Bill was talking the other day about how I just can't believe that 19 years ago it was just cornfields. We were driving through the cornfields to get to our new house that we had just bought. and how different it was then to now. So amazing. That's what pulled us out here, was that we felt like we had the room to breathe when we went home, and that we could sit in a yard that wasn't fenced in, and we felt, one with nature really, and open to that that breath of fresh air, going home and being so happy with what God had provided for us at that time. And we still feel that way.
Isn't that amazing? One of the things that I get to hear over and over again is people's reasons for being in Fairview. And if you're not familiar with Fairview, if you listen to the show, we are just north of Allen along 75 corridor, but we're sort of this alcove of country living in this urban sort of jungle, if you will. I mean, Collin County is exploding. There's wonderful things everywhere, concrete, and all the beautiful things that brings, but you have sort of this little carve out of this country living where you can still be one with nature and I hear that over and over again, where there's room to breathe, right? They cross Highway 5 and they sort of shed this sort of urban environment suddenly, and now they're able to be back in nature, and the people say their heartbeats drop significantly just crossing Highway 5 and going into the neighborhoods. So that's a fantastic thing. And it's really a testament to the community of not losing that, because so many have lost that in the growth and the wave. Yet Fairview, y'all have been able to sort of carve that out and maintain that, while still at the same time taking advantage of all their growth. We have Macy's and Dillard's and Whole Foods and all this stuff sort of right out your front door. Yeah. But there's sort of this retaining wall that sort of keeps it from crossing over into what really makes Fairview Fairview.
Yeah. I love the fact that we have the retail so close. I don't have to drive 5 miles to get to a grocery store.
So I was going to say, when you first moved out here, it's cornfields. Where did you go shop? Where did you have to go to?
It was McDermott and Allen.
Okay.
That or El Dorado and McKinney.
Okay.
So.
A little more of a hike.
Yeah, not much really in
today's world.
It's not that much, but I like it better the way it is now. I love that Whole Foods is right here, and Macy's and Dillard's, that helps.
Right. Now, so tell me about moving out to Fairview and growing with the community. What are some of the things you like to do when you're not, turning dirt and making people's yards showcase ready and that sort of thing? What do you guys do here in Fairview?
Yeah. Well, if I can revert back to when we moved out here to Fairview, I want to tell you this idyllic story that happened because we knew a friend and his wife that lived here in Fairview before we ever moved out. And they came by as a welcome gift with a bottle of champagne and some flowers, and welcome to Fairview, you're going to love it here. And we're like, oh, okay. Oh my gosh, that's so great. And then we see the next weekend, the neighbor has a team of workhorses that he would hitch up to a wagon.
Literally workhorses.
Workhorses.
Okay.
Not the Clydesdale, but something similar to that.
But real horses.
The real horses. Okay. That he had hitched those horses up, and it was usually 4 horses to a wagon. And he would come up and down the streets of the neighborhood and just pass by, and like if you wanted to take a ride, you could. Now, how amazing is that?
I've not heard that story.
You've not heard that? I mean, longtime Fairview resident. I could get, is it okay if I say his name? He has passed on, but it was Tommy Thompson, and so anybody who has been out here, they know that name. He and his wife Betty, lived here for a long time, and so he did that, and it was just part of how he was neighborly before. That was, it was...
It wasn't a slogan.
That's just what he did. It was so cool. And we kept going, we got to pinch ourselves that we live here in this like Norman Rockwall kind of setting, that it was just too good to be true. And so that was our first experiences with being a neighbor and welcome committee into Fairview, and we still just love it. So
nice.
There you go.
Well, thanks for sharing that. That's an awesome story. I hadn't heard that. I wonder if I could find that wagon. That'd be sort of a neat sort of thing.
Yeah, his kids, one of the daughters and her husband lives in that home now, so I bet they know where that is.
That'd be awesome. So now you're growing a business. You moved out here. Obviously, you were able to continue that business and grow from here. And tell me a little bit about that and the growth of your business and managing that and how you were able to get into the community and do that.
So, it was a little bit frightening to move out this direction. It was 14 miles from where we were living and where most of our business was located. So we were primarily a North Dallas and the very northern suburbs, right there connected to North Dallas, where we provided most of our service. So coming out here really took us out of our comfort zone. It was definitely we were trusting that it was the right thing to do and the right choice we still had one child at home, and moving him into Lovejoy ISD and so forth. There was a lot of thought that went into that. So as we were out here, gas prices start changing, there's a recession that happens, and we start rethinking, really everything with our business, what we need to do to reposition ourselves. And so we did that. We changed up slowly our service areas, and I'll just say we still have a little bit of North Dallas work that we do, but we are primarily a Fairview, Allen, Lucas, Parker service provider now. We've got our lawn maintenance side, which is a very specific areas that we serve just because of the need, quite honestly, for a lawn maintenance service. There's a lot of need out there, and we can only meet so much demand. But then we have the landscape side, which is a broader area that we service.
And that's really more of the making it pretty, design work, planning, what plant goes where to make it really maximize the look of the yard.
Right. So what helped me with all that transitioning really was getting into networking here and partnering with other businesses that, could help me as a business. I need printing services. I want to do business with people that I know, like, and trust. I want people to do business with me because of the same reason, but I'm trying to run a business that I need services for. And so you best find that by networking. And a dear friend got me involved with the Allen Fairview Chamber of Commerce. And so that was just a instrumental, monumental way to connect with the community and help my business grow by utilizing other businesses in that regard. And then, also people trusting us to, invite us onto their property and work with them as well.
Well, that's, I'm glad you said that. That is one of the things that I think people don't, maybe not recognize. A lot of times chambers, they don't understand the value of that membership and what they really get for that. And really, it's not you pay your membership and suddenly you get people that suddenly you're doing business with. It really creates the opportunity for you to create relationships, which then results in the business flowing, right? So you've got to invest beyond just the dollars. It's some time and effort in developing relationships. I heard it, a guy said the other day, his dad told him, the success was making a lot of friends and then doing business with your friends, right? And not getting that reversed, but first make friends, and then you'll find you'll end up doing a lot of business with your friends. And I think Chamber, and specifically the Allen Chamber, Allen Fairview Chamber, they do a really good job of that, of putting people together and creating that opportunity for relationship building.
They do. They've got a tremendous team of volunteers that make that organization really phenomenal because they're networking experts.
They're truly passionate too, right? It's not a.
They are.
At first, my first foray into it, I've seen it in other places where it seems like that, but you can get in and you're like, okay, it's really not there. It really is. People are just trying to get something from it. One thing I found here is that they truly do care and love about the organization, and and they love it. They're very passionate about it.
Yeah.
The volunteers. So
Yes.
thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
So tell me what other things that about living in Fairview and that are close to you. You've obviously been able to integrate into the chamber and build relationships and grow your business. What about the other side of that? Always, as the economic developer, always try to share that side of it, because that's what really makes the difference, right? We all have streets, water, sewer, buildings, and land you can build on, but what makes a difference are the people and the activities that kind of go on, when it's not a Monday or so tell me a little bit about that part of living in Fairview.
It's just very simplistic for my husband and I, because we really love the setting. We're with people 5 days a week, and we're always talking to someone. And so when we are off work, we love being at our home. We really love that. And it's hard to get us away from that. I mean, we've got a beautiful patio. We sit out, watch nature. We love that we see, bobcats, coyotes. We have, in our neighborhood, and frequents our red oak tree is a blonde squirrel. And we've named him Rocky, but then we found out it was a she. So she's Rocky.
Rocky can go both ways.
She's cool. I mean, we so love that. That we have that, those unique things happening in our yard. My husband's a real outdoor hunter, fisherman, and so it really suits us, and it's just a way to unwind from the day by really enjoying your space and where you are. So we do hit some of the trails in the Fairview area when we want to
be a little more active.
Yeah, be a little more, be active, and so we'll do that as well. And really on that note, I'm hoping to be able to spend more time doing some more of those trails as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a perk for Fairview to have those, for sure.
Well, and that's we just recognized someone at the Allen Chamber, the Allen Fairview Chamber Gala, for their work in the trail system and developing it. I think that's over and over again we hear exactly what you said of sort of, again, you get away from the concrete and it's dark skies, and you can actually see and hear nature in Fairview, and it's not just one little spot, or you have to go to a park because of the way the neighborhoods are built and large lots and those kind of things. You're able to really sort of find your place and leave all the other stuff behind.
Yeah, that's right.
So as a business owner and resident, if you are talking to someone who's considering Fairview, and obviously you had a good school, you mentioned Lovejoy ISD, and one of the phenomenal assets that Fairview has is that school district. That was a good, experience for y'all.
It was, it was. So best thing we could have done. Our son ended up graduating in 2013, went to University of Arkansas, graduated there. When he was in high school, at one point he's like, gosh, it just seems so small. I wish we had just moved to Allen and I'd go to the big high school. And we're like, oh my gosh, he doesn't know really what he's saying, right? So, and he didn't. I mean, fast forward then, he's in college and he's like, man, I am so glad that I was a Lovejoy graduate. That's where I went to high school. So, we're like, sometimes parents know what they're doing.
Right. Every now and then, we get it right.
But, so I love that we had that opportunity to put him into that school district specifically.
Yeah, I think that's one of the, we do have, obviously, McKinney ISD. There's some homes that feed into that, and then, some parents do choose the Allen system, which is a great system. It's just different, right? It just offers a different, it's just a different platform or different size.
It's a tremendous school district.
Right. We were very fortunate in that, whether you go north, south, it doesn't matter. We have a really good school district.
That's right.
And Lovejoy has a very specific sort of look and feel that gives that variety. And a lot of folks that move out here because of that, and to be able to fit into that school system.
Yeah.
So tell me, what advice would you give a new business owner who's looking at maybe the new office that we have going that's up now in the town center? We have actual office product that they can sell, and pretty soon Lucy's going to be building developing that the corner at 75 and 121, some tremendous opportunities. So people are going to start to look, and that's what our hope is, that this gives them a realistic look of life in Fairview. What would be one recommendation that you would give to someone who is considering living in Fairview and having their business here? What's something that you would, from 19 years of experience here in Fairview, what's something that you would give them that they need to do when they're thinking about Fairview?
That's a tough question for me, because I think a lot of those people that are that would be looking at the office space in here, maybe more executive level or corporate. I'm not sure that
what we're selling. Think about it from the standpoint of, you can find that office space anywhere in the Metroplex. So it's really not necessarily about the office, but it's, if you're looking for a place that you get sort of best of both worlds, right? Good school system, nature out your back door, access to urban, from that standpoint, it's life in Fairview that makes the difference. Mm-hmm. Is kind of where I think we have that opportunity. And so, one of the things that we say in our videos is look beyond just the cost of the square foot of the office you're leasing and look at the greater picture, which is, do you want a 5-minute commute that gets you from, mm-hmm. boardroom mm-hmm. to patio in under 5 minutes? Or are you gonna, pay a little more, or, maybe you pay a little less, or you get a little incentive, but now you're 20 minutes away or 30 minutes away, which is still good, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. but it's not 5 minutes. And so the hope is that we can get them really to see Fairview as where they want to live first, and then we have the opportunity to get their office. That's kind of the concept. Again, but that's kind of where my head was mm-hmm. sort of thinking was, so, you're perfectly fit to it. You're a business owner, and it might be another small business owner that comes in. We have a ton of those that live and operate and see themselves that are, they're very successful. They just don't realize. They feel like, they're not Tesla or Boeing or something like that, but that's, mm-hmm. Like so, Jeff is a great example of that, right? He's got a little startup. And,
a little.
It's not, but in his mindset isn't that it's not a, he's not a big pharma company, right? But it's I guess that, with that question, and I'll kind of revert back to, for a period of time, and this is before pandemic, I worked from home. And when the pandemic hit, so we moved the business, all the business things out of our office. We have an office that's about 5 miles from Fairview. I would have loved for just me to been able to move our business right here off of Stacy Road and stayed right here. But we need a warehouse type of setting, right. So our needs are a little bit different. But I can't imagine, hitting that pandemic and still working from home. I was so glad to be able to drive, to our small office. And that to be able to have that opportunity to go just a few miles to work is so wonderful. Work from home is lessening, I understand. So many people are going back into an office or have been there now for a few months. And so to be able to do that just a few miles from home where you live and work all in the same
community. I think it's wonderful that Fairview has the commercial development now to support that and to fit that need where those people are, want something that close.
Right.
There's got all that opportunity now.
And it's got great access off 75
Yeah.
for your employees if they want to live and
That's
work
right.
within a 15 or 20 minute radius. You've got excellent school districts of all different sizes,
Yes. Yeah.
homes, prices in all different ranges, and you literally can be, 5 to 7 minutes from your back patio and kind of best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
you're really looking at it from that approach as a nice little thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Joe, thank you. This has been great. I love getting to hear your story and sort of a seasoned resident's view of living in Fairview.
Thank you very much, Dave, for having me. I've enjoyed it and appreciate what you do for our town and getting the Fairview EDC face out there and very visible.
Well, thank you. I'm blessed to have found this position and love working for this team and the community. It's really a special place. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, asking you to like, share, subscribe to our channel. Share the news and stories we're sharing here in Fairview and help those folks make a difference. Thanks, and make it a great day. Thank you for listening to this episode of Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. If you're a business owner interested in calling Fairview home, contact our office by email at edc@fairviewtexas.org or visit us on the web at fairviewtexasedc.com. And if you're a resident and you know someone we should hear from, nominate them at fairviewtexasedc.com/neighbors.